Greeting. Today I want to speak to you concerning the truth about Bible school or seminary. Okay, and I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking based on what no one else would have said. At the time when I started Bible school, I was still in college. I used to attend a secondary school called Bishop's College, and it was basically owned by a church. It's still owned by the church, which is the Anglican Church. Okay, and I was going to school. I was basically in the last class, okay, getting ready to do my exams to graduate and get out. Okay. At the same time when I was in Bible school. And the very thing that shocked me when I went to Bible school is when I was told about the Apocrypha and how the Bible was never really 66 books and how certain books was taken out and how the Bible is measured by a measurement called the canon or the Holy Canon. And by the time they say Holy Canon, I don't realize Catholic had to do with that, right? It goes all the way back to the Catholic Church and so on, right? So I was taught that certain books they came about in the Dark Ages and they had to remove them because they wasn't inspired by God and so on, because they justify things like polygamy and some other stuff that they mention and so on. But the main point I want to get across is that I was kind of shaken by it. I really questioned my mind. But I was still in my teen. Okay, I would have been around, say, 17, 18, around that time. Okay, a very young man. Okay, and I was questioning myself, how could that really be? It doesn't make sense because with my zeal, you know what I mean, being in organized religion, which I did it because of the question I asked myself from a very young age, who am I and who is God? So I set out on a journey to discover that for myself. So with my quest for discovering, you know, why am I here on this earth and so on, and where I'm going when I leave here and so on, I thought, Bible school, you go there and you learn as much as you can about God. That's how I was thinking at the time. But when I was told that, it really shook me up. And after a while, it it, it, it get out of my mind. But if I had really hold to it and really, really ponder even much more harder, I would have, tried to put things together before. But I couldn't really do it at the time too, because to be honest with you, that was like in the late 80s, early 90s. Okay? Because I graduated from school in around 1991. Okay? So, yeah, so that was like the late 80s, early 90s. Okay? So, but it had always left a question on my mind. So I'm saying all of this to say any preacher, pastor, whoever went to any Bible school or ever went to any seminary, there's a lot of things that they would learn that they will never tell you. Okay? So they are actually always hiding something from you because they themselves would have questions in their mind. And there's a preacher who came out and tell the people the truth about how he was preaching to them, yet he was questioning his mind concerning this eternal hell and all of these things. His name was Carlton Pearson. He lost everything. He lost the congregation. He lost church, land, everything. So, my brother, my sister, I'm saying all of this to say that anyone who ever went to Bible school or went to seminary, they know that they're deceiving the masses. They know that something is not right. They know that the Bible can't be what we were told it is, as being absolute, the word of God, and then they try to separate man from God, yet man was able to put the book together and canonize it. It doesn't make sense. Okay? It doesn't add up. Okay? So I'm just saying this for anyone who might be a part of some Christian religious organization, and they have never been to a Bible school or been to a seminary. Well, you're getting it straight from someone who went to a Bible school, someone who went to seminary. Okay, now I say cemetery. Okay, because you realize white the sepulchre full of dead man bones and so on. You realize that they're keeping you in darkness. Okay, so my brother, my sisters, it's this time for you to wake up and learn to think outside of the box, learn to think for yourself, and if someone who've already been there come and tell you this, it would be very stupid for you to try to argue and try to tell them that they have the devil, the demon possessed, and all of these things. Because these are things that people do tell me. Okay, people who have never been to Bible school, they've just been a follower, a church member, a believer, you name it. Okay, and they are following blindly. And it is always the blind leading the blind. So my brother, my sister, I'm just saying this to say, okay, once your pastor or your religious leader been to Bible school or seminary, the things he will know that you don't know. Okay. And to cut a long story short, I never graduated from Bible school. I refused to go to the graduation and I refused to accept anything from them. Okay. It would take me too long to go into all that took place. Why? As I didn't. And I saw how, these preachers and ministers, how they're not true and how they're not real. Okay. And they ought to always deceive the public. Okay. Because what the dean at the Bible school was asking me to do, and another brother of mine, when I say brother, not biological, right? It wasn't an honest move. Okay, what he was asking us to do, just to make the people who come to the graduation think a certain way and believe a certain way and so on and so on. And I had seen it as deception and I refused to go. Okay, and the brethren who went, he tell me all the things that took place and and so on. Okay, but I didn't go and I never received anything from them. Okay, and I know that was happening for a purpose. And that's why I'm here sharing these little experiences with you. And I've been teaching you the Bible from a different angle, from a metaphysical and esoteric standpoint, from a metaphysical standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, from a standpoint whereby it makes sense. Because everything is mental and everything is psychological. Everything has to first be a thought, it has to first be an idea, it has to first be imagined. And it is because I would have take control of my own mind and learn to think for myself. And then when I do further studies into these books, I realize that they have never told us in Bible school that these books can still be found in Ethiopia. Okay, all of these other books that they take out of the Bible that they call the Apocrypha and so on. And right now, you know, people could get those books online and somebody giving them a watered down version and so on. But when you have the experience like what I would have had, like the boy from the skull, the opening of the eye within and all of that, and you actually fulfill Matthew 6:22. If you are be single, your body full of light, and you come to that place of light, that place of enlightenment and illumination and so on, you will know all of the lies and why they did the things that they would have done. Okay, so all in all, my brother and my sisters, this is just to arouse your curiosity and to help someone. Okay, because there might be someone who all their life they were in secular Christianity. That's pointing them to look outwardly. They never been to Bible school. They never been to a seminary. But I am telling you, anyone who have ever been to a Bible school or seminary, you understand, they know things that you do not know, and most likely they might never tell you. Okay, because they have their agenda in making money and feeding their ego. in being what they choose to be in this world. But I'm saying to you, if you have a conscience and you really have love for yourself, first of all, and love for others, you definitely tell them the truth. That's why I'm sharing this truth with you. So with that being said, my brother, I can go on and on and on, but definitely going to come to a close here. I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. If you like to get my books, the links are down in the description. You have 10 or more books to choose from. Also, if you want to become a part of my Patreon community, I have a course here for people donating $20 or more. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Conscious. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. Also, if you want to join my university, Free Thinkers and Seekers University, you're welcome. I try my best weekly to post up a masterclass to help you on your spiritual journey. And I think I mentioned my books. If you like to get my books here, the links are down below. But whatsoever that you desire, I'm telling you to just check out the link that are down below and let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.